Welcome to the Heart-Led Business Show, where compassion meets commerce and leaders lead with love. Join your host, Tom Jacobs, as he delves into the insightful conversations with visionary business leaders who defy the status quo, putting humanity first and profit second. From heartfelt strategies to inspiring stories, this podcast is your compass in the world of conscious capitalism. So buckle up and let your heart guide your business journey.
Welcome, buckle up, and let's zoom into the zesty zone of the Heart-Led Business Show, where humor and heart harmoniously hail. Our guest today swings the swag with a hypnotic hat. It's Tom Laessig, not a wizard, but a certified hypnotherapist, making miracles with mind mazes. And now stay tuned as we delve deeper, driving into this dynamic dream of owning a heart-led business that leaves you lighter and loads happier. So folks, stick around. We're going to have a hypno-hilarious chat with Tom Laessig. Tom, welcome to the show.
Hey, Tom. Thanks for having me.
No worries. How about that for an intro? You ready for a little humor as well as hypnosis?
Yeah, it seems like hypnosis and humor go hand in hand.
Sometimes, if it's on stage.
And that's where most people get their viewpoint of what hypnosis is all about. From what they see on stage, from what they see in movies.
Yeah. Or now on Instagram or TikTok, there's a lot of hypnotherapists that are doing their stage show on video as well. Okay, I mean,
stage shows are funny. They're funny. They're interesting.
Yeah.
But, when we deal in a clinical sense, it's completely different.
Yeah.
The people up on stage want to entertain.
Yeah.
And they do.
Well, let's talk about that in terms of the business sense then. So what is your definition of a heart-led business?
Hey, it's a business that you enjoy going to every morning, that you enjoy being a part of. And that's what I find with hypnosis. It's very rewarding, especially coming from where I did previously, which I didn't find so rewarding. But hypnosis it's a thing. It's a very effective modality that I want to spread the word about and help people, because when you work with someone's mindset, you can make really drastic changes in their life, good, positive changes.
Wow, that's amazing. So what did you do before that inspired you to go into a heart-led business and specifically hypnotherapy?
Yeah. So for most of my life, I've been a financial advisor. I grew up in the retirement plan business, did investment advising, owned my own business. The business wasn't growing. We were too small to really grow. And I had an opportunity to sell it about 8 years ago. So I did. I sold it, and it was a good move. I didn't make a whole heck of a lot of money out of it, but now I'm in something that I really enjoy, and I really get good satisfaction from helping people.
That's cool.
That's where I'm at.
Nice. Did you find that in the financial industry that you were more focused on the profit, and that's maybe what caused the disconnect for you?
Yeah. Look, the truth about the financial business is you're going to help someone with their financial plan or whatever, whatever spin they put on you. But the only way you make money is to have so many clients and put them in some type of model that everyone adheres to. There's no personal service provided. There truly isn't, unless you're a very wealthy investor with lots of capital, lots of money for the investment advisor to invest. And yes, did that bother me? Yes, it bothered me. I didn't like that. And I saw it more and more. I saw some investment products that came out that are sold as can't lose investments. And the truth is, yes, they certainly can. They can lose money, but you're not given the full picture. And the other thing, one of the things that always amazed me when I was if I go to a party or I meet new people, and they ask me what I do, I say, well, I'm an investment advisor. That was the end of the conversation. Now, when I tell them I'm a hypnotist, it's, wow, really? And then the questions just start, and then people start thinking about their relatives, even about themselves, about hypnosis can help them. Because truthfully, they probably didn't know anything about hypnosis, let alone meet a hypnotist.
Yeah, those preconceived notions of investment, advisor versus hypnotist. I mean, that's completely Like, yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's different.
connotation is, oh, you're going to try to sell me something if you're an investment advisor. Right. So are you able to then, so as a hypnotherapist, obviously you're working one-on-one with people. Is that the model that you do?
Yeah, mostly one-on-one.
So you can get really in depth with that client versus the 1,000+ clients that you had to have as a financial advisor. Is that right?
Yeah, I learn everything about them. I need to know everything about them,
Yeah.
because that's the therapy part of it. And then we work on changing their mindset towards whatever those issues are to release them.
Okay. What's the most common thing that people are coming to you for?
Well, okay, so stop smoking is very common because I think it's probably the most popular or most well-known reason to use a hypnotist. So stop smoking I get mostly stop smoking. And then it probably goes to weight loss, and then fears, then anxiety. I don't want to forget about golf.
Okay.
I help people with the mental aspect of the golf game. Some people come in for chronic pain. They're the main issues. But you know what? I've gotten a lot of weird issues too. So, but they're the main ones.
What is thinking about scaling that business? Obviously, one-on-one is a lot of time. So on a business perspective, how do you balance the, making a profit by and only being able to work with one person at a time?
That I've been struggling with.
Mm.
And a lot of hypnotists will tell you need to raise your prices. I just can't do that. You mentioned, can you do things in a group? Yes, you can do things in a group over Zoom.
Mm.
So I'm working now on a product or a service for smokers because not everyone is willing to jump into hypnosis. They want to know what it's about, what it's like, what's it feel like. So I'm working on a service now where I'm going to do group sessions for a very cheap price, which, and if there's enough people, it won't be so bad for me. And then if they like it, for the typical smoker, if they like it and they need more help to stop smoking, then we'll do another group session that'll be more in depth. So it's more or less like a trial period for that first Zoom session, and then we'll get into the depths of how to quit smoking. And I'm going to give that. I'm pretty soon rolling that out.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a really good program. Especially, do you find that you have to, or that you're doing the same thing with different people, like in terms of what they're trying to improve upon or get rid of? Like all the weight loss people, you go through the same kind of routine. So it makes,
Well, see, weight loss is different because women, I hate to point them out, but older women, menopausal women have difficulty losing weight.
Yeah.
And we got to treat them completely different. I go through, for the weight loss, I go through my journey for weight loss because I've lost a significant amount of weight using hypnosis. And, it doesn't work for everybody. And so it's not always the same. And the basics are the same, but I do tailor it to the individual.
okay. What is it about like the stop smoking? Because that's what everybody kind of thinks about with hypnosis. What is it about that particular issue that is so prevalent in hypnosis?
People that have been smoking started when they're teenagers, almost across the board. No one starts at age 25, age 30. They just don't. They start as teenagers because it's an inclusion thing. They're part of a group. They feel cool about it. And what happens is they get into a routine, a habit, right? They wake up in the morning, they light up a cigarette. They have a cup of coffee, they light up a cigarette. They jump in their car to go to work, they have a cigarette. They're at work, they need a break, they go out and have a cigarette. It's a habit. People talk about the nicotine. Yeah, nicotine's addictive and all that, but they're not permanently addictive to nicotine. Nicotine leaves your system in 24 to 48 hours. That's not the issue. The issue is that repetitive activity that you have every day, and that's what gets lodged in your mind. Just like anything we do. This is a stupid example, really, but I blow my nose a lot, right? So my nose is always running. So I go into the bathroom and I reach around to the sink and I pull a tissue and blow my nose. Well, my wife moved that tissue box from the sink over to the toilet. So I can't tell you how many times I've gone in there and I reach around for the sink and it's not there. That's what happens with smokers. So what we do in hypnosis is we change their mindset. We get them out of that habit, and it's very effective.
I can imagine, with that habit, it's like I used to smoke early on, and that was definitely it. It was the cup of coffee, the meal, waking up.
Sure.
Heck, even after going for a run, which didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. It's part of that habit, like you said, and it was difficult to break, but it was ultimately breakable.
As they say in the hypnosis world, it becomes an unconscious event. You don't realize you're doing
Right.
it.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're tapping into the unconscious mind, then you're able to kind of help reprogram that habit.
Yes,
That's cool.
exactly.
So how does it work with golfers then in terms of mindset? Is it still hypnosis, or is it more like, mindset, NLP type of programming?
It's a little bit of both. There are techniques that golfers should use on the course, mental techniques. Golfers get angry. Golfers think about that last bad shot that they hit, right? Golfers are afraid they're going to miss that 3-foot putt to win. That's all mental stuff. And I'll talk about those techniques and then as well install those techniques through hypnosis so that they don't think about it. So that they play the game in the zone, right? What's that mean? What does it mean to play the game in the zone? You're not thinking consciously, right? Subconsciously, everything's working. Your body knows how to hit that ball. It's been doing it for many years. You've practiced enough times. Now, the mental aspect takes over. Now you have the confidence. Now you're always staying positive on the golf course. You keep an even keel. You don't think about the bad shot you just hit. You don't think about the great score you're going to have. You got to stay in the present. There's all kinds of techniques in golf.
That totally makes sense. I tried to play golf, and I would need your services because it's such a frustrating game. And get a little ball 300 yards away.
Yeah. As another hypnotist always said, I can't make a race car out of a donkey.
True. And would you say, how much is it a mind game for a lot of these elite golfers?
Oh my God. They all see hypnotists. They don't call them hypnotists. They call them psychiatrists or psychologists. They don't call them hypnotists, but that's what they are.
Yeah.
They're getting into their minds.
So kind of going back into the business side of it, what type of challenges, because obviously going from, investment advising to, truly a heart-led business, or actually mind-led business. What were the challenges that you faced making that transition?
The biggest challenge is getting people to use my services. I started with local people, so they come into my office. And in this area, I'm outside of Philadelphia. I'm not so sure that hypnosis is looked upon as a modality for people to make changes in their lives. So it's been difficult coming up with a marketing plan that gets people in the door. Now, especially for smoking, I'm spreading my wings to the world. So we can do things now on Zoom, just like we're doing here. And once someone closes their eyes, the hypnosis is exactly the same, whether they're in the office or whether they're remote, like we're doing right now. So it works either way. So I'm broadening my horizons by going more global.
Okay. Well, that's great. What was the shift then in your marketing that finally got people to come in or notice you in your marketing?
I'm not sure I've reached where I need to be, but I've tried everything between Google Ads, Google My Business. I'm working now with Facebook for the global reach, but mostly I rely on Google searches. People find me on Google.
Wow.
They find me local on Google.
Oh, that's interesting. And you're doing the keywords like stop smoking or play better golf?
Oh yeah, all that SEO stuff.
Awesome. How about the vaping these days? Is that something that you work with people on as well?
I don't see enough people on vaping. And the reason I don't see enough people is because there's not enough research out there today that lets people know how dangerous it is. Because vaping is obviously bringing in the nicotine into your system. Right? Especially with young kids, when their brains are developing, nicotine can have a really adverse effect on them. The adults are a little more difficult because they think they're not smoking, they're vaping. And what happens is that vape doesn't leave it's always within reach.
Yeah.
Some people go to bed with them.
Oh my gosh.
It's absurd. Here's what I call it. You
Yeah.
ready? It's the adult binky.
Ah.
The vape is the adult binky. And the truth of the matter is, they're always vaping. At least with cigarettes, it comes with with the coffee or after a meal, right? There's times.
Yeah.
With vaping, it's just, I need it, it goes to my mouth. I need it, it goes to my mouth. And all these chemicals go into your lungs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have nicotine, sure. But these chemicals go into your lungs and they're damaging your lungs. And it's not good. And there's not enough research out there. I think the tobacco companies are involved in this.
Yep.
They're patting down all the research. Someday it'll come out.
Yeah. Well, hopefully soon. I mean, I see people with necklaces with the vape attached to the necklace itself. So you're right. It is totally within reach.
Horrible. And the kids are doing it.
Yeah, that's even worse.
I coached ice hockey for 30 years. And I went from youth. I coached a little bit of college. And then I went back to youth for a year. And when I went back to that last year of youth hockey, I found out that they were vaping in the locker room. And that just destroyed me. And they actually felt that they played better after they vaped, after they had that nicotine hit.
Yeah.
And, obviously that's not true.
Right.
And the parents are pulling their hair out. They don't know what to do.
It's so bad.
I don't see enough vapors because, vapors don't seem to think they have a problem.
Yeah, or it's not caught up
Yeah.
to them yet. All right. So what kind of good surprises have you seen in, making that shift to a heart-led business?
When I see people and they leave, I feel good about it.
Mm.
I feel really good about it. And then they're giving me testimonials and they're telling me how good they feel and how well they've done. I go to the golf course and somebody will throw their arm around me and say, "Hey, this is Tom. He helped me shoot, the best round of my life," or he helped me win a tournament.
Oh,
And, it's just a terrific feeling.
I bet. Yeah, helping somebody else,
Yeah.
definitely one of the best feelings in the world. I
Right.
can see, like, in your face, you're definitely lighting up when talking about the helping of other people, and you can totally see that's awesome. It's really cool. So, Tom, how can people find you, or do you have something that I think you gave us a link here? We'll put that in the show notes for a product that you have for quitting smoking. So, any smokers that are actually listening to this podcast or vapors
Yeah.
at that or of that as well, definitely take advantage of that download. But how else can people get a hold of you, Tom?
So my company is called Achieve Hypnotherapy. So you can go out to my website at achievehypnotherapy.com. And I have all kinds of stuff on there. As I was going through my weight loss, I followed a lot of people, a lot of doctors, and I put a lot of resources up on that website that people would find useful. Doctors that don't rely on medicine, that are more geared towards eating the food that you eat in order to maintain really good health. And there's a lot of resources on there. They can find me on Facebook, Achieve Hypnosis, Tom Laessig 1. You got to learn how to spell my name first. It's Tom Laessig 1. Yeah, so they can reach me that way.
Well, we'll put links to the show notes, so everybody just watch the show notes there, and connect to Tom and see what he's doing. I love that you're putting all those resources up there for weight loss as well. That's very useful for people, I'm sure.
I get a little down on the doctors, unfortunately.
Right.
So doctors don't take it personally. But, there's an old way of thinking, and the pharmaceuticals have just taken over. And people want to get help by taking a pill or even getting an injection.
Yeah.
And to me, you put chemicals in your body, and long term, that can cause issues. It can cause problems. So watch what you eat and eat the right foods. Don't eat all that processed food out there, that quick stuff, because that's all full of chemicals too.
Oh my gosh, totally.
I drive my wife crazy.
What is it? Eat the rainbow, eat until you're satisfied but not overly full, and walk. Like, be active. Like, that's the formula for maintaining a good.
That's a good formula.
It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Awesome. Well, Tom, thank you so much for being on the show today. Really appreciate your insights into both hypnotherapy, but also the business side of being a heart-led business. That was really insightful and good chat today.
My pleasure.
And for all the listeners out there, please make sure that you go and give us a rating and a review. That helps to get the word out so that more people can find us. And have a great day, and we'll see you on the next episode.
You've been listening to the Heart-Led Business Show, hosted by Tom Jacobs. Join us next time for another inspiring journey into the heart of business.